Good afternoon. My first order of business is to apologize for not being able to be with you in person on this very important day. It seems that after well over 3 years of avoiding COVID successfully, my luck, as it were, ran out this past week. This is actually among my very favorite days in the academic year, and I'm just so sorry I can't be there to celebrate with all of you. And even though I won't be able to attend, I want to invite you to join us for a reception following today's ceremony. Now, I feel like I should begin my comments with some levity. I'll borrow from others because I'm reasonably confident nothing else I say is going to be funny today. But to our graduates, a little advice from Tom and Ray Magliozzi, the car guys from Boston, who said, "You'll never have more energy or enthusiasm, hair or brain cells than you have today." That's as good as it gets. Exhibit A. I did also change the quote, by the way, from this morning's ceremony. See, I'm thinking of the folks on stage who are doing 2 of these today. I'm here for you. Now, to be serious, how wonderful it is for us to be here with you and your families to share in this very special moment that you, our students, have worked so hard to achieve. I want to again congratulate our graduates today on all your many accomplishments during your time here at Peabody. You've worked hard, overcome obstacles, and called on internal resources you probably never knew you had in order to get to this point. So now you'll set off on a great adventure, and one that will have its peaks and valleys, but you've learned to be resilient and always to return to the purpose that has driven you to be an artist from the beginning. I invite you to take a moment to think about and again thank all the people in your lives that have helped you arrive at this point today. None of us do it ourselves. My love for and interest in music was made possible because my dad took me to concerts, took me to record stores when we had record stores, and spent hours combing through the bins and spent hours and days with me looking for the right piano. Similarly for you, parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, teachers, mentors, and others, we're there to help you find your way, perhaps when you had your doubts. So please do thank all the folks that have made a difference in your life. And again, I think you have to most of all applaud yourselves. Now the question is, what do you all do next? I don't have to tell you that you're going out into the world at a pretty challenging time. But you have the capacity to change that world and to influence it because you are artists. You're going out into the performing arts at a time when the challenges which were exacerbated by COVID continue. And beyond that, you're starting your careers at a tumultuous time generally in our world. Democracies are fighting to remain true to their creeds while autocrats fight to undermine democracy itself. People are faced with fighting for their rights, including those that were once assumed to be firmly in place. Racism and misogyny are anything but a thing of the past. And we all live with the threat of gun violence that has become far too familiar. That's a challenging landscape. But here is the part that I really want to focus on. You have the chance to impact all this now with the extraordinary power of art, which you can use to change lives, to elevate the human experience. In a sense, we get too used to these gifts we hold, blasé, we risk taking it for granted because we're around it all the time. But most people are not, and with what you do, you can, through your music, uniquely express what others may be feeling. And in that sense, become a mirror that reflects back those feelings as if to say, I understand your plight. The beauty that you create is a unique gift, and with that unique gift comes responsibility. You have to decide how you're going to use your talent to make a difference. And there's not a right or wrong answer to this, or a formula for how to do it. You get to decide. One of the things that I'm most proud of is not just the skills that you've acquired as musicians and scholars, but how I can already see you using those skills and the creativity with which you are seeing endless possibilities. I think we could take a little credit for that. Our breakthrough curriculum, Launchpad, and the fostering generally the community-minded enterprise has challenged our students to think about what they do as more than just the value of performance, of presenting a work of art, but what impact does that really have? How do we make a difference? What I really want to do today is the simplest thing I can, which is to celebrate you. So I'll draw on your examples because they're inspiring. You've done so many wonderful things in your time here that have helped you grow. The countless number of performances, right up to and including the recent performances and recording of Peabody faculty member and Pulitzer Prize winner Du Yun's Where We Lost Our Shadows, which will be Peabody's third commercial recording since 2015, or the Peabody Jazz Ensemble at the invitation of Wynton Marsalis going to perform at the Jack Wooten Jazz Competition at Lincoln Center. Also recently, the presentation of Don Giovanni, and in support of Peabody's full-throated commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion is essential across all aspects of our community and the work we do. The launch of Peabody Premieres, our label fully dedicated to the recording and propagation of works by underrepresented composers. And of course, world premieres of our composers' work in emerging American artistic traditions. Yet the work that you all are doing goes far beyond the traditional medium of performances on the stage or even recordings. I'm thinking, for example, of the work of Wesley Hamilton, who received a launch grant for the Practice Peg, a device that allows string students to practice using tuning pegs in a risk-free and tactile environment. And of Meg Huskin, who premiered My Dearest Jane, a Jane Austen cabaret, her original musical theater work at the Baltimore Theater Project. And Nils Randers Persson, who started M House, which arranges and produces students' original pop songs. Finally, I want to pay tribute through a few examples of the outstanding faculty that brought you here. And these examples represent many more faculty members whose professional profiles shine a light on Peabody every day. I'm reminded of the recent sold-out performances of The Hours at the Metropolitan Opera by our Pulitzer Prize winning faculty member, Kevin Putz, something our Peabody medalist knows something about. Or Kevin's colleague, Felipe Lara, whose double concerto was recently performed by the two Phils, LA and New York, to rave reviews. Or Marin Alsop's never-ending stream of successes with orchestras around the world, including where she is this week at the New York Philharmonic. And I could go on and on. The reason our students are who they are is because our faculty are who they are. In recounting the breadth and depth of what our faculty and our students, specifically you today, have accomplished, and most important, will accomplish in the decades of your collective careers that lie ahead, we are reminded of the truly special place Peabody is. So now, I invite you to take everything you have done out of the classroom and the practice room and bring it to life. I wish you well. We are incredibly proud of you. We believe in you and are here to support you. And I encourage you to always remember your own resilience and that your future ultimately truly is in your own hands more than you ever might imagine. Congratulations again to our new graduates, to your families. Bravo, well done.